What's up? This is my first YouTube video. I'm currently a first year student at King's College London studying computer science. My name is Krishna Prasanna Kumar and I'm 18 years old. I just want to go through my journey to how I got into King's College in the first place because it has been like a like rough way of getting in because I didn't get to the school I wanted to get into the first place, and then GCSEs were rough. My parents were like pushing me hard, and it wasn't like the best of scenarios in my opinion. So I just want to like go over my like heritage, for example. So clearly I'm British Indian. So I was born here near Birmingham, and I moved to London when I was around like 5 years old, and I've lived here nearly my whole life. But so the first thing is like my parents have always been stressed about education. Like everyone who's Asian clearly knows that their parents really care about education, and mine were well not different from any others. So the first thing was that we take the 11 plus in England so we can get into a grammar school, which is like a selective school for like it's usually where like it's easier to get better grades because there's usually better teachers there compared to like non-selective schools. So the thing is, at that age, I didn't really understand what all of it was, and I didn't really understand, I guess, the importance of education at that age. But still, my parents were pushing me on, and I was just at that age, I was still into gaming and all that, so I didn't take it that seriously. Unfortunately, I failed, but I didn't fail by too much, so I still was like happy, I guess, but my parents clearly were not. So, so in turn, I had to join a non-selective school for GCSE time, and like it wasn't the greatest of scenarios. Like my parents weren't happy, and I just had to push through it. But like I think like it kind of helped me because when I joined my new school, I learned from my mistakes. Because if I had passed the 11 plus, I wouldn't have learned my mistakes, and I would have just continued on the same path, the gaming, like everyday non-stop path. But then I decided to like reform and just continue and take my education seriously. So I went to my new school, and because it was a non-selective school, I was like one of the smartest there, so which it kind of helped my. I don't want to brag about it, but like it boosted my ego. So I decided to learn from mistakes and then continue and did my just like learned and was like throughout the entire time at that school, I was like towards the top at my grades. So during GCSE, I took maths, English language, and English literature, triple science, so biology, chemistry, and physics, computer science, French. I think I've got all of them, maybe a couple missing, but I got 5 9s at the end of it, which is in the new reformed ones, it's like five A stars and an 8, which is also kind of an A star, so kind of 6 A stars. So I was pretty happy with it. My parents did not expect that since I wasn't going to a grammar school. In fact, I got higher than a lot of people going to grammar school, so I was pretty happy. And with those grades, I decided to apply to a grammar school because you can apply for a grammar school again after GCSEs. But GCSEs was like a good like 5 6 years after, so it wasn't like immediately after failing that, and plus I could get in again. But it was like 5 6 years of going through that school, and that school wasn't great as well. It was a new school, so we were struggling. Like we didn't have a building immediately, so it was kind of tough during GCSEs. But I made it to grammar school finally. But then when I got to grammar school, I didn't really see much differences. Like the students were smarter because obviously it's a grammar school. But then the teachers themselves weren't that much better, to be honest. Like it was always the same old, just homework, and like the teachers weren't that great, to be honest. But I still obviously just continued. I chose maths, further maths, and computer science. Actually, I chose for maths, physics, and computer science at the start of A level, but then I decided to change physics for further maths since I wanted to go through the computer science route, and most universities actually looked for further maths instead of physics. So I decided to go for that. And then so during A levels, it was kind of rough again because of COVID-19 this time, because we didn't really know what was going to happen. Year 12, we had to end early because of COVID. We had to go into a full lockdown, and we had to do a lot of the lessons online, which I didn't really find great. To be honest, I wasn't listening to most of the lessons. So when I went back in year 13, when COVID had slowed down a bit, it was rough because I was actually really far behind compared to others. And year 13, you need to have the year 12 basics set before you go into year 13. So I had to like spend a lot of time doing that first. And then COVID again meant that the exams were cancelled. So they mainly did, the exams were mainly set by the teachers. So we had to do exams by the teachers, which was kind of annoying, I guess, because some teachers in other schools would give easier tests than ours. Because ours is a grammar school, they gave relatively harder tests than those non-school. So in this case, it would have been beneficial to not go to a grammar school, in my opinion. But nevertheless, I still walked away with 3 A stars. And when I was applying to university, I got into King's College London, luckily, to study computer science. And that's where I'm now. Like, I'm at my first year computer science, and I've completed my first semester. But with 3 A stars, I do feel hard done by. I could have gone into another uni, but it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, we did the same. Whenever I think of it like that, like with 3 A stars, I could have gone into a higher uni with an easier course though, because computer science is one of the most challenging courses to get into compared to others. But nevertheless, I just decided it's similar to my 11 plus scenario where I failed 11 plus and I still did better than those that passed 11 plus. And I think even after not getting into like somewhere like Cambridge or something, Oxford, I still can get better grades and do better in life, because I want to eventually start my own tech business. So at the end of the day, the grades don't really matter. It's mainly just like learning. Like, I want to learn and improve my coding skills, and then with those try and move up and start my own business with my friends and help from my family. So I guess this is my first YouTube video, and then this was how I got into King's College London after failing my 11 plus, which is a big like stepping stone, because not many do that. But I guess here I am, King's College Computer Science, after failing 11 plus. If you want to see more videos of like how I go through university and my education experience, please consider subscribing. I want to make videos like every week until like at least I finish university, just to see how far I can get with this as well. Maybe this can be my like stepping stone in how I start my business. So who knows? But yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a good time. Nice to meet you guys.